Hi, my name's Matsusaka, and you came at the perfect time because I'm just about to start my latest episode of Dumpster Diving for Gold. In this edition, I will be covering a whole bunch of DVDs I picked up from a place called Family Video. At Family Video, they had a huge sale that my wife spotted actually as we were driving by. She was kind enough to point out that there was a big sale, a big sale going on. There was a big sign that said DVDs for sale, and like I said, she was kind enough to mention it because we very easily could have just like went right home and she didn't have to say anything, which would probably be in her best interest because there's no real escape like when I'm in a video store. Like if she, if we're at the mall or a swap meet or somewhere like that, I can kind of do my own thing, look through movies and VHS tapes and DVDs and stuff, and she can kind of go do something else if she wants to. Whereas if we go into a video store, there's really no place to go except for the video store, and I guess you could probably look at the candy and I guess the soda, but really there's nothing else to do. So it was very nice of her to point out the fact that there was a huge DVD sale. With that said, the sale itself was, each DVD was $1.95, and if you bought two, you got the two together for $3, so $1.50 a DVD. So I of course splurged and spent very little money on a whole lot of DVDs, and I'm going to share them with you right now. The first one I picked up is David Mamet's Red Belt. This is something I've been wanting to see kind of for a while. I like mixed martial arts quite a bit, and David Mamet's a great director, and it was on Netflix since I watched for a short time, but I just never got to it, and it disappeared just like so many movies do on there, which is always so annoying. The next film I picked up is a movie starring Shannon, Don't Call Me Bruce Lee. It's called Lessons for an Assassin. It looks really good. It's called, the tagline is "Kill Without Emotion," and it should be noted that it says Bruce Lee's legacy lives on, which I think is just so funny. I love that she's punching at the camera too, because that just shows that she's like pretty tough and she means business. But this looks pretty fantastic. I never even heard of it before buying it. So speaking of a movie I never heard of before buying it, here's a movie called Dead Above Ground, starring the great Antonio Sabato Jr. Looks like a super cheap slasher film, and I don't know if this is any indication of the film itself, or if this is something that the Family Video did. But the artwork, if you can see, is all like jacked up and super bootleg. It's all off center. If you can see like on the spine's all twisted looking as far as like where the image should be and stuff. But I mean, on the inside, it's a real DVD, so I don't know if that's Family Video or if that's Dead Above Ground, like the actual movie itself, like if that's how it comes. Like if that's how it comes, that's even better. If it's just Family Video, it's like whatever. Anyways, moving on to the next film called The Greenskeeper. And I love the tagline. It's par for the corpse. Now, while that tagline is awesome, and it's a slasher film involving golf, the best part about this has got to be the fact that there's a soundtrack by Kip Winger, founder of the hit rock band Winger. As you can see, that little factoid is written on a golf ball. And see, I used to golf for a few years, probably like 4 or 5 years I golfed. It's been a long time, but when I golfed, I never really felt like I could get into it unless I was listening to Winger. Because Winger, especially Kip Winger himself, he just like bleeds golf from his borders, like clubs come out of his body when he sings and stuff, so it just really works. It's like finally someone decided to bring Kip Winger and golfing together and put it in a movie. And it's a slasher movie. What? Next one is going to be a movie called Bitter Feast. And this is one I actually had the trailer for this one on Dumpster Diving for Gold. That's what this is called. Totally Tubular Trailers. I had that trailer on there one time. It looks really cool. It's about, I guess, a food blogger who gives a negative review to a celebrity chef, like his restaurant. It's a celebrity chef who's been having a lot of difficulties in his life, like his show is not doing well and he's going through a tough time, and the celebrity chef doesn't take it very well, and he decides to kidnap the food blogger and put him through some sort of hostile style pain, I guess. Anyways, it's pretty neat little idea, and it sounded pretty cool, so I'm excited to pick it up, especially for $1.50. I think someone had this on their best of the year list, and I can't remember who. Maybe it was Aaron? I don't know. I could be wrong. I can't remember. The next one I picked up is Park Chan-wook's Thirst. I have seen Thirst, and I quite enjoy it. I'm excited to pick it up for $1.50. I would really love to own it on Blu-ray, but hey, it happens. You can't really beat that price. The one funny thing I think about this is, of course, this was at a video store, and I love that it has this little sticker for the dumb people that I don't go to the movie to read. This movie is subtitled, so I don't know. People are fucking stupid. But hey, you know what? Those stupid people, they didn't probably rent this, so they sold this to me for $1.50. Next up, I have a movie called Black Belt, starring Don the Dragon Wilson. And this looks pretty great. I love, you gotta love some Don the Dragon Wilson. You can take him in short spurts, but I don't mean short spurts. That's so gross. So what I love about this is this cover is pretty awesome with his a shirtless Don, and he's got some karate pants on and his black belt, and he's kicking up into the air. And that's gonna come back around in a second, so remember that. Next film I got is actually probably my favorite purchase of this entire batch, and it's my favorite because I don't find, like, this is the kind of movie I don't feel like I'll find all that often. And it's a Gary Daniels movie called American Street Fighter. Now, just this cover, first of all, is so amazing. It's so American. It's so sweaty, and it's so wet hair, and so gunned, and so awesome. But it should be noted that on the very back we have a Gary Daniels, shirtless, wearing some karate pants, and he's about to do a kick. He's not fully there, unless he's doing a short kick, like maybe a kick to the balls, but I think he's about to full-on kick straight up into the air. He hasn't done it yet, but he's almost there. If you remember, Don the Dragon Wilson, see a theme here? It's all about being shirtless. In fact, I've thought about doing like a cover like that, shirtless with my karate pants on, but then like people would see what I look like shirtless, and they'd probably have to be like throwing up. So, next two films I have, I'm going to group these two together, are it's The Wicker Man and When a Stranger Calls. And the reason I put these two together is both of these films I had not seen. They're both classics, or considered classics depending on who you ask, I guess. The Wicker Man is probably the one that is considered a classic more than When a Stranger Calls. I have seen these films since buying these movies. I've actually bought these films about 2 months ago. I just haven't had, maybe even 3 months ago. I just haven't had time to make a video yet for them. And The Wicker Man I enjoyed quite a bit. I didn't know it was so weird and so musical. I didn't realize there was so much music in it, and I actually thought that was a great part about it. It was very surprising, and it was really fun and quirky and just different. Great ending, and even though you kind of know where it's going to go, I didn't know what the twist was, and I really found it to be a good twist. Just very, very good movie. I enjoyed it. I can't wait to watch it again. I do wish that it looked better. Now this is Anchor Bay. This is an Anchor Bay release, and it's from 2006. So it's not an old DVD. I don't think it's I don't know if it's a bad transfer, or if it's Anchor Bay, which I don't think it is. I could be wrong. Or if it's the movie, it just looks like this. It's just an old movie and it just was cheap and whatever. So I'd be curious if there is a Blu-ray release of this. If there is, I'm curious as to how it would look. Either way, I really liked it. But the next one was When a Stranger Calls. And I think any horror fan around my age, within my age range or older, would know kind of the big twist of When a Stranger Calls, and the strangers decide that he's calling from inside the house, and everyone kind of knows that it's a pretty well documented thing that happens, and regardless of knowing that, when I watched the film, I didn't know that it was going to happen in the first 20 minutes. I thought the entire movie was about her being in the house by herself and having someone stalk her. In any event, so I was surprised by that, and I actually really liked those first 20 minutes, and even though I know the kind of twist about it, it was still very effective, and that entire 20 minutes or so works very well. Now the film kind of goes into a direction that doesn't fit in with that first part, and which is kind of unfortunate because that first part is so well done, and then even the very end, the movie kind of comes back around, and all that is really great. There's a lot of tormenting of what's her face? Is Carol Kane's character. She's really tormented and really well in the end. I really like how it came together. But that whole middle part just doesn't fit the film at all. Now, it's unfortunate because I think that middle part is very good on its own, because it's very sleazy. It's not very sleazy, but it's a pretty sleazy, kind of exploitative, dirty, grimy, kind of cop-ish. Like I can't remember if he's a cop. Charles Dunne. I can't remember if he was a cop. I think he was, or he was retired or something. It's been a little while since I watched this. I probably watched it a couple months ago. But anyways, he, it's like a detective story. Some great tracking shots. It's really well made. It's just that all of it doesn't fit. If he had kind of wrapped that story around with something else, maybe something more like a 10 to midnight kind of story or something like similar to that, it would have been a little bit better. But whatever. I mean, I still am happy I finally saw this film. Like I said, it's kind of a classic, and it's always nice to be able to catch up with films that you've never seen before that people talk about or have talked about over the past couple of years or whatever. Couple of years. I'm not even making any more sense. I better stop. So that's all I picked up. I got a lot of movies for a really good price. I wish I could remember the total. It was like $12 or whatever for, I think, for all, or maybe like 14 or something like that. But in any event, it was really cheap, and I was very thrilled with all the finds. So that's a really great stack of films. And that's really all I have for this time around. I want to thank you for joining me, and I hope you come back again. And that's it. Okay, bye-bye.